evening, good morning, depending on where you are watching me from, like my guest. Welcome to another episode on Balance and Harmony Hour, where we try to help you understand stress, understand life, understand balance, understand growth, and live a fulfilling life. Today, I'm not alone. I have a special guest that we all know is our own Coach Ngozi. She's the lady with a cool, calm voice, but she's a goal getter. And today, she'll be talking to us on sustainable momentum. Funny enough, I join her live every Tuesday when I can because sometimes I'm at work. And today she was speaking on almost the same thing. So we are working in the spirit.
Exactly.
So I don't want us to
Yes.
miss any time at all. We'll go into it. If you are watching us and you have questions or contributions, please write them in the comment section. We'll deal with them. Share our videos. Follow me, follow her. You can only get things that will make your life more beautiful, more productive, and more fulfilling. So I leave the table to you, Coach Ngozi. Thank you once again for being on board.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on your platform. I really love what you're doing. I don't know if I can do it because I see that you post and I'm like, where is she getting all these ideas from? She always has something online, and I really applaud it. It's not easy. I'm learning. One day I will get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay, so
you're
today,
doing a great job, Coach. You're doing a great job.
as you said, in fact, today is for sustaining momentum. I have seen it because my topic on my growth habit session was also on sustaining momentum, and the topic she gave me to talk about happens to be the same thing. And when she gave me the topic, I didn't even look at what my topic was going to
Connect.
be today. I had already prepared my program for that period and written it out. It was when I saw that my guest might not come. So I quickly went to research on the topic so that I can have what to say. See if my guest doesn't come. As I finished that, I now quickly went to the notes I had written for her session because I had prepared for her session, knowing that it's me that will handle it, only to see that it's almost the same thing. So truly, we need this. For it to align like this, we truly need to know how to build momentum, how to sustain, not even to build, how to sustain momentum. And the topic says how simple, consistent habits shape long term transformation. And as she said, I'm a growth habits expert, as they call me, but I'm a growth habits mentor. That's the way I like to call myself. I take time to to study, and to see how habits help us in growth, and how the habits that we imbibe propel us to that future place that we want to be, that future person that we want to be. And I found that one of the best things you can do for yourself is to actually build habits. It's not just to have goals, to have targets. Build habits, habits that you are sustained, habits that you can carry forward from one season to the other. What most of us do is that we have goals, we have targets for this season, and it doesn't carry forward. It doesn't move to our next season in life. It doesn't move to the next stage in our lives because we feel maybe we've achieved the target. Let's move on. But what we need is to have habits that are lifelong, habits that form our lifestyle, that can be sustained over different seasons of our lives, that can we can carry forward from where we are today to where we will be tomorrow, to where we'll be in the next 1 week, the next 1 month, the next 2 years. So that is what is essential. And these habits are not built by motivation. They
Hmm.
actually not. They are not. Motivation helps. It gets you started most times, but you can't sustain any habit by motivation. It's almost an impossibility. You need to build the systems that will help you sustain the habits. So, building this momentum, building this system is not a 100-meter dash. It's not even a 200-meter dash. It is not even a marathon per se. Because when we say it's a marathon, it has an end. There is no end to it. You build the habits, you sustain them, you tweak them as you go along. You
That's
make the
good.
necessary adjustments for the new season you are, but the main habits are sustained. So many times, we like to say it's a marathon, but I found out it's not really a marathon. It is, I don't know, there's no race that lasts forever, is there? Is the human race, I guess. I guess that's what we call it.
Exactly.
I don't know, but it is something that has to be sustained. It's something you just have to make up your mind and know that this is something for your life. You will keep doing this. You will keep tweaking it. You will adjust it. I gave an example in my session about evening routines that I have struggled with. It has been a big issue for me to sustain any kind of evening routine. I will bring up some, I will, start. And then along the line, I give up because I missed one day, missed 2 days, and before you know it, I have no evening routine. And I did discover recently, because I did a session on evening routines, I discovered that part of the problems that I've never attached this habit to the main core of who I am or who I am becoming. It has always been, they said you should have an evening routine, so let me have an evening routine. But after that session, I sat down and thought about it. Why do I want to have an evening routine really? Is it really necessary for me? Because everything is not necessary for everybody. It's not every habit we must all imbibe, not every habit. So I asked myself that question: do I really need an evening routine? Is it essential? And as I began to think, I realized that the few times I did have a sustained evening routine, I woke up with clarity of mind. I don't know. I think that's the way I can explain that.
Hmm.
Our brain works throughout the day, very active, thinking, doing all the things they need to do. And the way the brain was made, created, is that by the time you're sleeping at night, the brain gets to declutter, gets to
Hmm.
renew itself, gets to heal itself because the brain is self healing. That's why people that have stroke recover. The brain heals those places that had injury during a stroke, and if it can't heal it, it rewires to bypass those areas, so the brain heals itself. But when we don't shut down in the evening before we sleep, we don't give the brain the time to do that. So when I gave this thing a thought and I realized that for me to achieve all that I want to achieve in this my life, I need to have an evening routine because it will help me in the morning. My brain is sharper, my brain is clearer. It has rested, it has, healed itself where it needs to. It has decluttered and gotten rid of the things that are not necessary. Then I saw that definitely I need an evening routine. That's since that this is I think 2 3 weeks now, I've been able to sustain a very short evening routine. It's not long because I don't have the luxury of a long evening routine. I don't. I don't. Very short, barely 10 minutes, but it works. And I wake up with such clarity in the morning. See
Okay.
what changed
Can I?
between all my previous attempts.
I wanted to add something. The day we talked about, I was on your live session when we talked about the evening routine, and
Mm,
I talked about my kids always call when I come back from work, they start calling me already because two of them don't live at home. They're in the
mm,
uni in the university, and I realized that you said that put them part of your routine. You understand? Let them be part of your routine. And when I
Mm.
check my routine paper, they are also part of my routine. And that is one big part. Your routine must be some aligned to your paramount. So if I exclude them, then I will never have my evening routine. It will never,
Exactly.
either I exclude them, I always have problem, or they're always calling in, but they know that they are part of my evening routine, that I must talk to them, we must talk. So aligning that is very, very important to your
Yeah.
goal, to your values. Why do you need them? Why do you need it? It's very
Yeah.
important. That was a very good tip.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see that that will help you sustain that evening routine because you have
Exactly.
aligned it, you will sustain it. But if you just hang it by itself, you can't sustain it.
Yes.
We are not machines, we are human beings. We have flesh and blood still. We have not translated. So
To AI.
yes, we have not. So it is essential to align it and it will help you sustain that habit when you have aligned it to your purpose, when you have aligned it to your reason you are alive, basically. There's something James Clear said. He says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Yeah. So this is another key part of being able to sustain your habits. Don't base it on emotions. Don't base your habits on how you feel. Base it on a system. Have a system established. Have a system in place that that habit is hinged on. You know, we have been told severally, tiny habits, consistent habits, but if there is no system to sustain that tiny habit, it will fall apart. It will fall to pieces. So it's essential that you build a system to those habits that you're trying to form. Because, see, the goals you set is not what creates the results that you get. It's not those goals, it's the system that you have put in place. I was given an example that for my live sessions, I try to do the schedule 3 months ahead. Sometimes I don't meet up with the 3 months and I do just 1 month ahead. But the fact that the schedule is set, I already have the topics lined up, makes it that I must prepare for those topics. And then I must hold the live session. For me, that is my own accountability system that I
That's a
have it,
system. Yeah.
it's written down. So it's only okay, like for now, July, like I was explaining earlier in my live, July, I don't have a program yet. And that's because my July is a bit still till now up in the air. And you will find that if I don't settle down and sort out all the loose ends, my sessions in July, some I will miss a few. I will miss a few. It's not even, this is not rocket science. But when I settle down, put things down, agree that on such and such a day this is going to happen, I am held by that. And the days I wake up and I am tired, especially from here when these sessions happen like 6 a.m. for me, I will still get up and do it. I'll still get
Exactly.
up. Yeah. So a system is essential. As you align that goal to your vision, to your purpose, to who you are becoming, have a system in place that keeps that goal anchored. It is your system that will keep it anchored, not your emotions, not how you feel about it, not even that you have set the goals and you have your 5 year plan or 10-year plan or whatever year plan. That is not what is going to keep you on track, help you sustain what you're doing. It is the system that you have put in place. And let me put this caveat here, there is no one system that works for everyone. That writing down works for me might not work for you because I know people, they will write that schedule, they will have that schedule for the next 6 months and they still fall. They still
Go
fall.
through it.
It doesn't work for everyone. Find what works for you. In this journey of growth, What works for you is the key. It's not what works for everyone else. Find the one that works for you. Now, I saw a comment someone put in the live session I just had. She said she's an evening person. She's not a morning person. So she struggles with a morning routine, but she's okay with an evening routine. Now, I don't have to insist that she has a morning routine. It's not as she must not. She needs to sit
Mm-mm.
down and
That's
review.
true.
Yeah, does it really work for me? If it doesn't, please stick with your evening routine and leave morning for those that morning work for. Me, both works for me. And I actually find that I need both. If you're the person that both are needed, apply the two. Have your morning, have your evening. But if morning does not work, do only evening. If evening cannot work for you, it's just is not in your makeup as a person, stick to your morning routine and keep at it. So that is one key thing about habits. One is that there is no one habit that everybody must have. There's no set of habits that applies to every single person. There isn't. Look for the one that
That's
works
true.
for you. This is essential. And that is why you align your habits to your vision. And you see, your vision cannot be my vision. There,
Mm-mm.
there is no way. And because they are not the same, the habits attached to them cannot be the same either. Okay. So let me just quickly look at a few things that are foundational to these habits that we want to sustain. The first thing that simplicity. Don't complicate things too much.
Yeah, so
Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't complicate it. For example, you want to read the Bible, that is what you want to do. Start with one verse. You must not read one book. You don't even have to read one chapter. Start with one verse. By the time you sustain reading one verse, even you will want to read two, three, four, five verses. Nobody will tell you because you have read one verse for some time, you have sustained it. There will be, even without your thinking about it, there will be the hunger to
do it.
increase it. But if you start with, I read one chapter, let me tell us the truth. By the time you get to books like Numbers in the Bible,
That
you
one
you will
chapter is that's it.
you will abandon it and run. So start with a verse. Even in the numbers that has this person begat the other, you can manage one verse. You can. But to read the whole chapter, I see that is where the challenge is. So begin small, make it simple. Don't complicate the habit too much. Don't try to, reinvent the wheel. It's not rocket science. Find it, make it simple. You want to write a book, for example, start with one paragraph a day. Make it simple. The more complex a habit is, the less likely you stick with it. That's just fact. Proven by science, proven by life experiences.
Experience. That is it.
Proven, yes. The more complex it is, the harder it is to stick with. So make it simple. Keep it simple. Simplicity is key in having sustainable habits. Simplicity. Then, of course, you have to be consistent, and you build consistency by aligning your habits to your vision. When you do that, you're more able to be consistent with those habits. It's like I say, it just happens like that. And in building this consistency, you have to have a way to track your habits. You have to have a way. Um, And in tracking, let me put this caveat before I go on. In tracking, don't get stuck on I missed a day and then it becomes an issue. You missed a day, no problem. Restart. You know,
Continue.
in the U Version Bible app, if you're doing any of their Bible readings, it ticks for you each day you miss. And my own app started to develop this, I think it's a bug or something. I have to uninstall and reinstall the app. I would finish a reading today. And it shows me that I've finished it today. Tomorrow, when I sign back into the Bible app, that day is showing I missed that day. That thing used to upset me because see, my streak is being affected. My streak is going down the drain.
Oh, I
And
thought I was the only one.
one day I was like, why is this bothering you like this? Did you not read this thing yesterday? You read it. So it's not that you didn't read it, but some bug in the system is telling you you did not, and you're allowing it to defeat your day, basically. And that's because inbuilt in us, we have that thing in us that when you see that you missed something, when you see that
You're
blank,
paid.
yes, you see it as a failure, and you begin to beat yourself up over having failed. But that you missed one day is not a failure. That you keep missing days, that is where you're heading to failure.
Exactly.
So when you miss one day, no, pick yourself up, move on. Even ask yourself, why did I miss that day? This is one thing that has been helping me a lot recently. I never used to ask myself these questions, but these days, when something happens, I ask myself why. So why did you miss that one day that you missed? Because like on Sunday, I actually did miss my reading. This one is not a glitch in the system. I actually missed reading my devotional for that day. So when I saw it on Monday, I almost was like, no, it's not possible. I should have read this. But I realized that truly I did. So I had to ask myself, why did you miss your reading on Sunday? And well, the answer was I took one cold medication and I slept like, in fact, log. I slept like a log and woke up almost too late for church and rushed off to church.
Okay. Okay.
But if I hadn't actually sat down, because the day went by and I didn't think about it until Monday. If I didn't sit down to consider why did I miss one day, I would have just been like, "Ah, I missed a day. Oh God, Ngozi, you're not even consistent. You can't just ordinary read your Bible. You can't sustain it. Just this is how the thoughts begin. And before you know it, you're going down that rabbit hole. So track your progress. It helps you stay consistent, yes. But remember, it's about progress,
Yeah.
not perfection.
Yeah.
Progress. So track your progress. And we've talked about this. Stack it to something that is existing. It helps. Something you already do. You attach this new habit you're trying to form to it. It helps you sustain it. These are the things that will help us sustain our habits, and of course, aligning it to our purpose. This I am repeating it because it is that important. Once you align your habits to who you're becoming, not necessarily who you are now, who you are becoming, that's the vision, the purpose you're
Absolutely.
trying to achieve. It will help you stick with it and make it become a lifestyle, not just something I do once in a while. It just becomes your lifestyle. um Many of us well, I don't know about, let me not say many of us, like for me now, if I wake up and I've not talked to God, I'm not, we I'm careful to say this because some people think prayer is um request. No, prayer is talking to God. So if I wake up and I've not spoken to God, I've not had a discussion with Him on some level, that day can't start. I don't know. It's like that morning cannot break. It needs to stop so that I have that discussion. Not because anything, but because it has become part of my life that I can't get up from my bed and just move on. I've not talked to God. How? It wasn't like that before. It's a habit I built because I saw that when I do that, you see how this goes back aligning to our purpose. When I do that, when I wake up and I do that discussion with God, ideas begin to come into my head. Things to do, how to do them, things I didn't even think about. Suddenly I understand them. And it's all born from the fact that I spent that time discussing with God. So for me, it is an automatic thing now to wake up and Even as I'm getting out of bed, I'm already having the discussion with God. I'm already telling him whatever I want to tell him that day. However, we want to have that discussion. Each day is different, but it's already happening without my giving a thought. Without my giving a thought. So it is so essential that we align these habits to who we are becoming. To who we are becoming. Is not so that it doesn't feel like a chore, so that these habits don't feel like a chore. When you align them to your purpose, they feel less like a chore, and more like, I mean, this is me, this is who I am, or this is who I am becoming. There's something that I saw where I think it was a research that was done where people were encouraged to that habit you want to, from instead of saying, um, I want to be, I want to write, I want to write more, you say,
I'm
I am
writing.
becoming a writer or something, you reframe it to align with who you want to become, not just what you want to do. And I believe that, yes, aligning to your identity, let it be part of who you are. Let those habits form part of who you are. I think that is actually the key. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm saying it, I'm realizing that that is really the key. When you align your habits to who you are becoming, it becomes so much easier to sustain them, so much easier to carry them through, because they are no longer chores. They are no longer action points. They just become, this is who I am. This is
Can
who
I
I'm becoming.
can I add something to this?
Sure.
From my experience, I see people they get stressed. Let me use that word. They get stuck
Mm,
because they see what they want to become. They want to become financially free or financially
mm,
independent. They want to pass their exams. They want to become more, eat more healthy. They want to become all those things. But like we are saying, their habits, their daily simple habits are not aligned with what they want to be. So
mhm.
they are stopped, they are not moving forward, they are angry with themselves because I want to lose weight, but I'm not losing weight. Why am I
Yeah.
not losing weight? I know if I know this, I know this, but why am I not losing weight? I want to become financial. I want to have more money. I want to become financially free, but and I'm supposed to save or invest or work more to get money. But those things are challenging to them. You understand? So
Yeah.
they are annoyed. They are not moving forward because if you don't clear those things, if you don't align those things, they are like a weight for you because you want
Hmm.
to become, but you are still here. So what it's like somebody is postponing, they are postponing those things because of one failure, like we said.
Yeah.
How can they pass that stage? How can they pass that stage of saying, okay, I want to become, but I failed. I did not reach today. I believe why you can move forward because you are we say it so easily. These are my kids tell me, Mama, you say it so easily. You just say it so easily because you are used to it. You are used to
Mhm.
getting up and moving. Because one thing I say
Yeah.
to them and to my clients is that every minute is a reset. Every minute can be a reset. Don't wait and say, I missed it, then I have to start next week. I have to start next year. No, start immediately. So, what
Hmm.
one thing or the other can help them to have that mindset and say, okay, my habits, I'm trying, I know I'm supposed to align it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And when I don't, I just give up. What one thing can help them to continue, not to hang in that failure place, not to hang in that I failed now, or I cannot do it, or what can they do to break that place? I think that's where people have a lot of problems. They have the knowledge,
Mm.
but they don't break through and they easily give up. How do you think they can break through that?
Okay, for me, personally, what helps me is, okay, let's go back to, okay, you mentioned healthy living. Let's use that as an example. I also started a journey to try and be more healthy and lose weight. But for me, the problem was when I wanted to lose weight.
The
When
time.
I changed to I want to be healthy, it became easier
Ah,
for me actually. It wasn't about the weight. I was no longer checking the scale like I used to. And then I saw people would be telling me, "Oh, you're losing weight." And I'm looking at myself, I'm not even seeing it. I've not seen the weight, but people are noticing it because I changed from I want to lose weight to I want to be
yeah.
healthy.
Okay. Hmm.
So when you find yourself in that kind of limbo in your either the goals you're trying to achieve, the habits you're trying to form, try and sit down and reframe it.
Hmm.
But a lot of times, being healthy is not how do I put it now? Being healthy um, is a beneficial task, is a beneficial role you're not trying to lose weight. You're trying to be healthy. Healthy for you means you stay alive. Losing weight, you can lose weight and still not stay alive. I don't know if you get what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. Yes. But when you look at it, that I'm just trying to be healthy for my sake, for myself, I'm just trying to be healthy. And you make choices aligning to being
For
healthy,
that.
the weight follows. The losing of weight follows. So one thing is actually to reframe that habit that you're trying to form, reframe the purpose of it. But for example, um, try to what's the word I'm looking for? Try to tie it to more lasting, is it lasting? Lasting purposes than just the one that is
There-
not lasting.
There's a word. There's a word that encompasses what you are trying to say. That is not just
Mhm.
coming to my mind, but I'm getting it
I
so
know
well.
that's the yeah. I've been trying to think of that word, but it's not quite coming. But
But
I'm
I
trying to
understand
explain
so well what you are saying.
exactly. So it helps when you do that. That is one thing that has always helped me. When I wanted to write my books, the books that I've written so far, I had to stop thinking of Ngozi, you need to write some books. I had to change the goal from you need to write some books to Ngozi, you need to put down your the things that are in your head that will benefit others. You need to put it down to help one person or the other. When I looked at it in that way, it became easier to write. It did
Hmm.
not become easy to write. It just became easier to write because I was no longer seeing it as just putting down a book. I was seeing it as okay, I have something up here that's going to help someone out there. So let me begin to just put it down. I actually started with just putting it down in my notes in my phone, my note app in my phone. When the thoughts come, I just write it there. If the thought develops a little in my brain, I go back there and put it down. Before you know it, the book had formed. Let me put it that way. But if I had sat down and thought, for years, I have sat down and thought of, I need to write books. I need to put my thoughts down, to write books, get it out there. I didn't write a letter. Didn't write anything. But once I now reframed it, when I reframed it to, okay, this would be beneficial to someone someday, somewhere. Let me just be putting my thoughts down. I
I
began
think
to see that I wrote more. Yeah.
what is coming to my mind is that the pressure is lifted up, the purpose and the power comes in somehow.
Yes.
That's just what is
Yes.
coming because this pressure, I must, no, I will, I want, and the power to do it comes in that right purpose, like you said, reframing your purpose. So I think
Yeah.
we all need to go back to not just I need a car.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need that car? Purpose of
Yeah.
that car. I want to be able
Exactly.
to travel easier. I want to, the purpose of that goal. I think that's a very powerful one. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Then you mentioned financial alignment,
So,
or let me use
yeah.
that word. I remember. People don't believe this because I'm an accountant. They assume I know how to handle my money.
You're supposed to.
It's an assumption that she's an accountant, she can handle money. But years ago, I did not know how to handle money. Even as a chartered accountant, I would spend and spend, and everything is gone. And I couldn't account for my money. And I tried. I tried. I will not say I did not make the efforts. But one day I had to look at it that okay, this is not even about being accountable for my finances. It's not even about being financially free. It's about me being able to how did I it's about being able to take care of my future.
Mm,
It's about me being able to ensure and somehow, ensure my future is assured as per finances. And when I changed it that way, when I began to look at, okay, it's not just about saving money, it's not just about people seeing me as somebody that's financially savvy, but it's about me personally just assuring my future. It became a little easier for me to save money. I could actually put away money now and say, okay, this is what this is for. So it is important to reframe that purpose. It is key. It will help you sustain it. It will help you in the times when you begin to question, maybe there's a need suddenly for money and you have
mm,
locked the money up somewhere and you can't access it. And you begin to think, what was I even thinking? You remember, yes, I need to assure or ensure my future. So it is very important to reframe that your purpose. It helps you to sustain the habits you're trying to form. It helps you to sustain the goals and to carry them out. Like I said, this thing has to be a lifelong thing. We shouldn't be forming habits that are for just a season. You need to form habits that will adjust with the seasons because we all have different seasons in our lives. So I have to be able to
absolutely.
form habits that when I move from the season I am in now to the next, this habit will carry over. It will be tweaked because it might not be exactly as is now, might not be what I need for my next season, but I can always tweak it.
Mhm.
It still aligns because generally, our purpose doesn't change. That is where I'm heading in life generally does not change. There are detours on the way, of course. We have to make room for that. There are detours on the way. We might, hit a hard left when we should have hit a right. No problem. But the ultimate place we are getting to doesn't really change. Doesn't really change. So those habits need to be able to move from, okay, I hit a hard left when I should have hit a right. No problem. These habits will still help me steer back on course and get me to where I am going ultimately. So I think I think this is the key. Truly, is that's aligning it to purpose, being able to reframe the habits, and also it's good to have accountability.
Mhm.
See, accountability is so good to have accountability. Like I said, all the while I've been talking about habits, accountability must not be to a coach, must not be to a mentor. It helps because they assumed to have a little more information that you may have yourself, but it must not be. You can be accountable to a friend. But what I always say is when your accountability is to a friend, ensure that that friend is someone that will look you in the face and tell you hard truths. But that
Mm.
is what you need in accountability. Someone that will tell you the hard truths, that will tell you, yes, you missed it here. Yes, you did, but we'll also at the same time tell you, but this is a way to, unmiss it if that is possible. If you don't have such a person, then please get a coach, get a mentor, get a professional that can be hold you accountable to, your habits, your goals, your life purposes, whatever it is. Get a coach, but it is essential to have someone keep you accountable. You can also keep yourself accountable. You can. It's doable. But it depends on you. Not everyone can keep themselves accountable.
No.
And it
Yeah.
is not a failure that you can't keep yourself accountable. I know areas in my life I can't keep myself accountable. There are many. And in those areas, I have someone, I'm not even joking, I have people that will keep me accountable. I know the areas I can keep myself accountable. And I keep myself accountable in those areas. But the ones that I know that deep down, if they leave me, I have failed. In fact, tumble to the ground in the failure, I get someone and that person holds me accountable. So accountability is key in sustaining momentum, in sustaining habits, and taking them from here to here. Okay. So do I have any other thing to say? Yeah, okay, let me add this point also. Generally, me, and this is me, I don't even know, but I think a lot of people also, we're not kind to ourselves. We can be kind to others. We can understand why others are failing. We can understand why others have issues. We can understand why others are not hitting their goals, or we can understand why we are not. We are not very kind to ourselves many a
Mm.
time. And you do need to be kind to yourself to have sustained growth. You have to cut yourself some slack sometimes. This is not an excuse to, mess up. This is not an excuse to be lazy. This is not an excuse to procrastinate and put off what you should do till tomorrow. No, but this is you being able to see that I'm building a life here. This is not a trek. This is not a sprint. I am actually building a life. I'm not trying to, get to a trophy or something. I am building a life. And to build the life, there are stumbles along the way. Yes. There are
Mhm.
detours along the way. Give yourself the permission to have those detours, but let the detours not derail. Let them just be detours that you still, correct and come back in alignment to where you're supposed to be. So I think,
Thank, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll ask one question before we go, but I want
uh,
to talk to our viewers, um, just like Coach Ngozi said, you must not have a coach or a mentor. Today at the office, I was talking to one of our trainees. I realized that in some areas she's not doing as she's supposed to do. And I just sat her down, we're just talking, and just I self-talk with herself, just realized that she is the one not believing enough in herself. So I just talked to her, I pushed her, and now told her,
mm,
okay, listen, you have almost 1 year to your final exams. These are the things we are going to do. These are the things we can do. We don't like to read. Okay, this is how we're going to do it and everything like that. We just finished talking that talk. And I
mm,
told her every week we'll do like this. And she in that after that session, I was talking to her as a friend, not as a coach. And she just said, wow, thank you so, so much. I also gave it to her. I told her, listen, now the ad Mama Ify will come out. The friend Mama Ify
mm,
is there, and the ad Mama Ify, you have to
yeah,
achieve and things like that. And she just felt, wow, that's good. Thank you so much that you even saw the things that I am. And part of those things are self-awareness, knowing yourself, knowing I'm a
mhm,
morning person, I'm an evening person, I have energy in the afternoon and things like that.
yeah,
And the truth, like Coach Ngozi said, what I'm going to is that sometimes you don't know those truths. Sometimes you're just living life, and we will do those things every day. We speak to people, we get to know them, we get to from our own life experiences, from the changes that we are going through, from we
mhm,
listen to people, we study, we look at the stories, what are the studies and everything like that. And this has placed us in a place whereby we can be able to guide you. So if you're that person that really you want to achieve something, you want to know if that thing aligns with your purpose. Maybe you don't even know what your purpose is. Maybe you are struggling with your purpose. Maybe you feel stagnant and you want to
mm,
grow. Maybe you just feel all over the place and you are stressed and you're listening to us. Listen, you need someone like Coach Ngozi or myself that will help you. Will start by self-awareness, knowing yourself, knowing my weaknesses. Like she said, There are some places whereby I can be accountable to myself, and there's some places where no, I need accountability. That
Mm-hmm.
is self-awareness at its highest. So those are the things that will help you to bring out. They will help you with clarity. You become clear of your goals. You become clear of all those things. Then we'll start going to help you to create habits. You cannot create 10 habits at the same time. You go with one, two, you master them. You go to the next one. Then you
Exactly.
now build momentum. So these are
Mm-hmm.
some of the things we can help you with. So if you are listening to us and you need such service, either you contact Coach Ngozi or myself. We work differently, but we are ready to help anyone to have those clarity sessions. So please
Yeah.
do that. My last question to Coach Ngozi is this: what would you say to busy entrepreneurs,
Mm.
that what one habit do they need to cultivate this year? This is almost 6 months.
Yeah.
Some are working hard,
Mm.
some are just all over the place. What one habit do you think can help them to become more focused and move a bit faster, become more focused and gain momentum? What one habit do you think those busy entrepreneurs, what will you say to them?
Okay, for those busy entrepreneurs, busy in quotes, one thing that is essential is to have that time of review and reflection. For me, I believe that that is what a lot of entrepreneurs lack: review and reflection. We as entrepreneurs, we wake up, we are going. You start the day, you hit the ground running, and you run throughout the day till the night, and you run into your bed. One thing you need to begin to do is to have periods of review and reflection. This is not review of per se. Let me look at my figures of my business. Not necessarily. It's a review of how did my day really go? How did this day truly go? What went well today? What didn't go well? Why didn't it go well? Why did the things that went well, why did they go so
Mhm.
well? That having review and reflection is key. It will always center you. That is one thing that it does, is that it will center you. You come back to your core and know that, okay, all this running around is not what it's all about. In that time of review and reflection, you can also remember while you got into business. You didn't get into business to turn into um, what's this expression they have for someone that is always going. That is not why you went into
Workaholic.
business. Yeah.
Workaholic, man. Do you mean
Yes,
workaholic?
yes.
Always working.
That is not why you went into business. You did not go into that business so that your personal life disappears, your family life disappears. That is not why you went into that business. So that time of review and reflection will remind you why you went into business. And then you can begin to realign where necessary. You will begin to do the adjustments where necessary. But if you don't have that time to review and reflect, remember, I'm not talking about reviewing your figures of
Not your results. No.
it's not that is not what you're reviewing now. Of course, there is a time for reviewing the figures of your business, how well you did. This is you reviewing, sitting down. What did I achieve today truly? Why did I achieve it? What didn't I achieve? Why didn't I achieve it? How are all these things working towards the
My
reason, the purpose for my starting in business? When we can do this, if you listen to people like um but all these men that we know, men and women, I'm trying to remember, there's one particular lady, I don't know why her name is escaping me. I think she's either the head of Bloomberg or something, one of these big financial institution. And one of the things she said is that she always has that time of calm, that time of zen, that's what they call it, where she just sits and reviews and reflects and reminds herself why she's doing all this. If not, you become overwhelmed by all the activities. Because truly, see, entrepreneurship life, it is not easy. If anybody tells you it's easy, it's not true. It is not easy. There are too many things coming at only you, and it's only you that's supposed to figure it out also. So you need to have that moment of zen. I like that word, even though I'm not sure of the the root meanings of zen, but it's supposed to mean calm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that moment of calm to review, reflect, and remind yourself, why are you doing this? It will help center you. It will help realign you. And definitely, by the time you do this, you know what to pursue, what to let go. You know the things that are absolutely essential to do. You know the things that are absolutely vital to your life, to your business, to your purpose, and you can follow through on those ones. And the ones that can be left for later, you can leave them for later. So I think that is one thing that will help a busy entrepreneur to be able to achieve more this year and going forward. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's a very educative session we had. No, we talked about our habits align with our purpose, not just our goals. Try
Mhm.
and make them simple. You track them. And I love this last one. We need to go back to review and reflect. What are the things that you are doing are just keeping you busy? They're not moving you forward. You
Yeah.
can be jumping in motion, you're in motion, but you're not moving forward. You need to move forward. You need to revisit them and say, okay, what should I stop doing? What should I start doing? And don't start too much things at the same time. Hold on to the things that are working, things that are
Mhm.
life, and reject the other one. So I hope you got value. I know you got value. It's not hope,
Yeah.
because it has already come out. I know you got value because I got value. I have things I have to go back to. One habit, one benefit I have as a coach is that I get to learn it firsthand, and I
Mm.
get to get transformed. I preach what I teach, and I teach what I preach,
Yeah.
what I live. So it's a two-way sword for me, that I gain these
Mhm.
things and I use them in my personal life. And the things I do in my personal life, I also teach them because they have great value. So I know
Yeah.
that you've gotten value today. Go back to your room, take your 2 minutes and calm yourself down and go back, check the habits you have, check the things you are doing, simplify them so that you can repeat them. Even when they are complicated, you're asking yourself, should I do A first because before I do B? No, make them simple, make them align to your purpose, reflect and review regularly, have your routines, track your habits, have an accountability partner. If you need somebody, a professional, we are here to
We're here.
guide you. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Coach Ngozi, for always calling. You will
Thank
see her
you.
again this year, 100%.
No
Because
problem.
me personally, I love listening to her. I love her simplicity. I love her down to earth session. So thank her for me in the comment section when you watch us. God bless you all. Any last
Thank you
words?
for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. And it's just to be yourself, honestly. Be yourself. Don't be another person. Don't struggle to meet up with any other person's standard. Be yourself. In this journey of growth, it is essential that you know who you are and that you be that person. Thank you so much for having me. And
Thank you so
hope
much.
to see you soon.
Bye, everybody. God bless you.